Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is No Serve, No Sell Capital on the 26th of December. But then again, you don't need me telling you that. You already know. And as always, it's the rough and ready crypto analysis. This is not detailed crypto analysis. It's just a quick glance using just very few tools. And of course, it is not financial analysis. I beg your pardon. It's not financial advice either. Just something that you should enjoy, probably learn from it, and let's hope that the directions we decide to take in our different speculations work. But anyway, enough of that. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to analyze Bitcoin initially. I'm going to do it at the end. So we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Binance, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, and of course WIF. Now I've just decided to throw in Ethereum and Binance. I sort of interchanged them, but I think today I'll throw both in. Anyway, let's get started. So we start off with Binance, and let's just throw on the indicators that we normally work with. So we've got the Ichimoku cloud, and of course, wrong thing. Of course, smart money concepts. And there we have it. So, again, we're looking at the daily. Let's make some room. Good. Oh, one more thing I forgot. Our volume profile. Show us what the volume is doing at the different levels. Good. So now we're set. So a quick look at Binance tells us a lot. And this area is an area of supply. That's this maroon area here. Let's just increase the size of that quickly. We can see everything is above the cloud. Here's a cloud. Price action above the cloud. Chico span running a bit free, although pointing downwards. We've got the Kijun-sen above the Tenkan-sen. Now, although this is all bullish signs, one could easily say that it's a bit weakly bullish. It's still bullish, but it's weakly bullish. And you can see that in the price action, as well as the cloud being flat here, which means that the price here would probably trail sideways for a while. But I expect that in the not too distant future, the price of Binance will go back to its all-time high, which is about, what was that? Let's see. It was something that's about, $794, almost $800. So I expect to see $800 again, hopefully sometime within the fourth quarter of 2025. But we should just have to wait and see. Volume looks reasonable, but this light volume here means that the price could easily shoot up, but we shall see what happens. Let's go quickly over to Ethereum. Let's have a look at that. Ethereum is also showing something very similar to what Binance was doing. In this case, we can see that the cloud is at an angle. Price action is above the cloud. Tenkan-sen just below the Kijun-sen. And of course, the Chico span is not running free. It's kind of caught up within the price action. Which means that if this is below the price action, that acts as kind of resistance, which means that the price will not be going up as quickly anytime soon. But should this break through this price action, I can assure you that the price of Ethereum will most likely go back to its all-time high. We almost have to put into consideration the fact that this area here, which is between 4,106 and about, let's say, 3,890, that's an area of supply. So you watch out for that. You may just find that you get a lot of sale. People start selling the crypto to make, selling the Ethereum to make quite a bit of profit. So just watch out for that if you're putting in a new position. For those of you who've been in this position before, all power to you. I'm sure you're sitting on quite a bit of profits. So that's something to be happy about. Okay, so let's move on. Let's not waste any time. Let's move on because we have a lot to discuss when it comes to Bitcoin. Next, we're going to have a quick look at Solana. And in this case, this is a bit different. We can see this is definitely bearish. There's no question about that. Even though Kijun-sen, I beg your pardon, Chico span is above the cloud. Cloud is at an angle, but now it's kind of flattening out. Kijun-sen is above the Tenkan-sen. Both are stuck within the cloud. Now remember, when you follow the laws of Ichimoku, in order to enter a new position in Solana, it means that Solana itself must be out of the cloud. Above the cloud, Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen above the cloud, and of course the Chiku span running free, which it is not doing. So below, since it's below the price action here, this now begins to act as some kind of resistance, which means it sort of doesn't allow the price to move up as rapidly as you would like. I'm sure those of you who've been doing fundamentals on Solana would know that Solana is a very strong candidate for some very strong high price. Now, I can't remember, maybe it's the last one or the one before, within the last 3 videos by Invest Answers, that's James. James talked about someone mentioning the fact that the price of Solana is being held down to allow some of the bigs or the institutions to get in at cheap positions and to prepare themselves for the Solana ETF. Now, I don't know how true that is. I'll have to rewatch that video, but that's roughly the idea behind why Solana is not going up. In my opinion, Solana should be at least 260. But for some strange reason, we see that it's been knocked down to 189. For those of you who are involved in perpetuals, keep your eyes and ears open on this one, because the price moves up and down, yo-yos up and down, a lot of volatility at this time. So just watch out and be careful. Next, we look at SUI. SUI looks strong. Everything that should be involved in Ichimoku is here. Cloud is at an angle, beautiful angle here. Tenkan-sen is above the Kijun-sen. Chiku span is also above the price action. Everything is above the cloud. That means this is strongly bullish. Now, I suspect there's going to be a lot of sideways trading. There's going to be movement, sideways movement of all the price. There is no area of supply or demand in sight, at least at this level up here. So I wouldn't be afraid actually to take a position, but maybe using the Kijun-sen here as support and taking a position at about 406, 407, something like that, if you're still interested in trading on SUI. Next, let's have a quick look at WIF. And WIF, oh dear, WIF just looks absolutely horrible. As you can see, 2 large areas, particularly this area here and here. These maroon areas are areas of supply. In other words, people are selling. Now, a lot of guys speculated heavily on this particular coin, which happens to be a meme coin. And meme coins have literally no, as you well know yourselves, they have no utility. So one should be careful. This is for pure speculation. Again, going by the Ichimoku rules, cloud up here, everything is below the cloud. Chiku span is below the cloud. Kijun-sen is above the Tenkan-sen. This is the cloud here. Everything is below that cloud. This is 100% bearish. It's in a bearish position. And look at that. Look at the Chiku span here. The Chiku span is running free, uninterrupted. So God knows how far it could fall. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it falls to this area of demand here before any sort of buying can take place. We've got an area of demand here ranging from $1.32 to about let's see, $1.62. So you've got about a 30 something, just under 30 cents of an area of demand, in the area of demand here, which allows you to play somewhere between that price here. So I suppose if you look at this here, if you look across here, you can see. Let's just take off. Let's just hide the Ichimoku for a moment. And you can see the price action just kind of running across. And you can see there the point of control. You see this red line here? That's the point of control. This means that a lot of the trading activity takes place in this price range. So I wouldn't be surprised that as price itself has memory, these charts have memory. Don't be surprised if you see this entire price section all come all the way down into this area of demand and before any buying takes place. So for those of you with the stomach, if you can hold, fair enough. For those that can't do that, many of you have probably sold your positions seeing the great fall all the way from $3.90. And we're currently at $1.84. Don't be surprised if it falls further into this area here before any buying activity takes place. So just watch out for that. Now finally, let's go to Bitcoin. Now, I've picked Bitcoin last because of something that I'm looking at very, very closely. First of all, Bitcoin, as we can see, is bullish. Everything's above the cloud. Tenkan-sen, Kinju-sen is slightly above the Tenkan-sen, just very slightly. Let's just sort of zoom in. Let's hide that. So let's disappear. As you can see here, look at that area here. You see the Kinju-sen, that's the orange, just above the Tenkan-sen. Very, very close. Price action is been trading sideways for a little while now, but also it's beginning to touch this area here, this blue area, which is the area of demand, which means it's a buying area. And you've seen for quite a while, price keeps coming into this area, dipping into this area and going back up, dipping into this area and going back up. It's done it here, it's doing it here, it's done it here, it's done it here, it's done it here, and now it's doing with this price action, and it's most likely going to do this here again as it dips in. Also, something that you cannot ignore, as you can see, the Chiku span is caught up within the price action. This price action, as it is caught above, this means that this acts as support. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the price, because it's entangled, price wouldn't necessarily move up. It could move up within a certain range, but you're not going to get anything dramatic. Now, I suspect, this is what I'm guessing, I suspect that a lot of things that are going on, people are playing the liquidation game. In other words, they're looking at the areas of liquidation, and people are playing, so I beg your pardon, between those prices and speculating. So people are buying at the lower price, selling at the price they think that is going to be liquidated. I think that's what people are doing at the moment. Plus, this is no more a retail game. This is an institutional game. The big boys and girls are playing on this one. And we, the small people, the little people, we're not sort of affecting the price. I mean, our 0.1 Bitcoin buy is not going to do a damn thing to the price of Bitcoin. Anyway, one thing that I noticed is something that I saw, if I can find it. I hope I've not closed it down. Oh, there we go. Here it is. And this is something that was released earlier today, which says a CryptoQuant CEO explains why this Bitcoin bull market isn't a bubble. So it says earlier today in a post on X, King Yung Ju, the CEO of CryptoQuant, shared his insights about the current state of Bitcoin's market. His commentary revolves around whale accumulation, a term used to describe large-scale purchases of Bitcoin by big investors. Ki Young-ju pointed out that the news of whale accumulation, which used to shake the market just 2 or 3 years ago, has now become so routine that it no longer surprises anyone. This shift, he explained, is indicative of a deeper trend. Retail investors are withdrawing from Bitcoin, leaving the whales as the dominant players in the market. So it says that Jew suggested that the market dynamics are now largely dictated by these big players. This reality, he said, is widely recognized but not often discussed in depth. Importantly, the Jew clarified that while we are in a bull market, this is not yet a bubble. To explain, he defined a bubble as a period when the market price significantly exceeds the capital flowing in, as measured by blockchain data. At the moment, on-chain data indicates that $7 billion in weekly capital is entering the Bitcoin market, a figure that supports the current price levels. Now, as I said earlier, this is the big boys and girls market, not for retail. And if you're speculating, if I can go back to let me bring this over here, that's better. I personally, I think what I would do is I've done a couple of videos about that, so I think I'm going to do a third one about this, talking about something I'm doing by trading Bitcoin, buying and selling Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin here and selling at a higher price in rough speculation. Now, currently the price of Bitcoin is 95,632. I took a position at about 91,000 to sell at maybe 100 and something. Nevertheless, I realized that I also have to watch this, the liquidation heat map, which we should all watch, showing us, so these yellow areas here, these deep yellow areas here are showing us the areas where there's large amount of leverage by I'm talking about 25x, 50x, and even 100x. So you could play the numbers in this area, which is what I've been trying to do for quite a while now, and sort of eke up a bit of money here, a bit of money there, and then it soon, before you know it, it soon adds up. Again, not financial advice, but hey, there's no point in you just sitting there staring at your screen when you can actually make a trade. And this is not a secret. The edge is wide open to everybody. So there's not really you don't have to think about building a hedge here. All you have to do is scale up and voila, play the market right and make some good money. Like I said, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do it, but it's something that I am doing. And let's see, what else did he say? He says, despite this, you acknowledge the possibility of corrections. He predicted that if such a drop occurs, it is unlikely to exceed 30%, and any such dip would be likely short-lived. In fact, he anticipates a strong rebound afterward, potentially with prices climbing more than 30% following the correction. He also expressed confidence that the peak of this Bitcoin cycle is still far off, and challenged predictions of an imminent bear market, questioning the reasoning of those who ignore on-chain data. Zhuo's post was accompanied by a chart titled BTC, the true MVRV, which can appear complex at first glance. Let's see, I thought we could make this chart, this chart a bit bigger, but we can't. So it says, let's break it down in simple terms. MVRV stands for market value to realized value, a metric used to gauge whether Bitcoin is overvalued or undervalued at its current price. The market value refers to Bitcoin's total market capitalization at its current price multiplied by the circulating supply, while realized value calculates the value of Bitcoin based on the price at which each coin last moved on-chain. By comparing these two values, MVRV offers insight into market sentiment and potential price movements. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to bore you any more of these details, but coming from this guy and from all indications, the CEO of CryptoQuant knows what he's talking about generally. And like I've said just now, there's a way I'm also playing the market so that one can make some kind of profit. As I said, it might not get down there, but if it does, I'll take a position. I've already put a limit buy in, and then hopefully I will enjoy the fruits of that speculation. And I also hope that any of you out there watching this who is doing the same or doing something similar, I say amen to that. Anyway, it's the holiday period, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to bore you with it anymore. Let's leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening. So as always, you keep your eyes and ears open and you're trading sharp. Have a good one. Bye.